Mayor Rogers is not with us tonight. In his absence, I would like to call the meeting of the regular board meeting of March 3rd, 2014 to order at, let's say, 7:38 p.m. and call the roll. Trustee Bendel?
Here.
Trustee Pearson?
Here.
Trustee Smith?
Here.
Trustee Hunt?
Present.
Trustee Brown?
Here.
Trustee Henry?
Present.
At this time, I would ask for a motion to appoint a mayor pro tem to chair this evening's meeting.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Trustee Stan Brown for mayor pro tem.
Second.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henyard?
Aye.
Motion carries. Trustee Brown?
You all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready to stand, ladies and gentlemen. If Trustee Bendel lead us in prayer.
Dear Lord, bless each of us that's come before you today. Give us the strength and guidance that we need to help the village of Dolton to be as strong as it can be. Be with our mayor, be with our trustees, be with our village residents. In your name we pray. Amen.
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 Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting together for March 3rd at 7:40 for the village of Dolton. Madam Clerk, could we get a report from our Madam Clerk at this time?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Trustees, you will see before you submitted minutes for the regular board meeting of January 10, 2014, and also the committee of the whole meeting on January 21, 2014. I'm sure it has come to your attention that these minutes are for January, and we are now at the beginning of March. Given the activities of the board and the demands of the board in the past month, I have not been able to keep up. So I am doing my best, and residents, please bear with me, and hopefully this evening we'll at least get current through January. So at this time I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of January 10, 2014.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of January 10, 2014.
Second. And I would like to make a motion to amend those minutes. Section housing under myself, Trustee Henry. I just would like to add the phone number to the jobs that I speak on every 2 weeks.
And the phone number would be?
I don't have it on here, but I gave you that list that day. You asked me for the jobs. I pasted to you the number on it. So if we could just go back in the records and grab that and add the phone number for that job listing.
And that would be for
DBD Logistics Transportation. also can get it for me, it's in my notes.
Is there a second? To amend?
I'll make the second.
So there is a motion to approve the minutes as corrected. Motion by trustee Henyard, second by trustee Mendel, to add the phone number for DBD Logistics under the housing/jobs report.
Call the roll.
Trustee Pearson.
Aye.
Trustee Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Trustee Smith.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Bendel.
Aye.
Carries. As amended.
Yes, and I'd also, for the record, I'd like to let it be known, the village manager, the village lawyer, John Murphy, attorney, legislative counselor, Steve Delgado, engineer, Ron Smith, and our village administrator, Stan Irvin, is present.
At this time, I would also ask for a motion from the board to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole of January 21, 2014.
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of January 21st, Committee of the Whole.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Trustee Pearson.
Aye.
Trustee Hunt.
Aye.
Trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Trustee Smith.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Bendel.
Aye.
Nothing further.
Dr. President. Thank you, Madam Clerk. This time, can we have the engineer's report?
Thank you this evening, Mayor Pro Tem, trustees, and residents, Village of Dolton. Just a couple of items this evening. The first thing I just want to bring to your attention, there is a park and recreational facility construction grant that is available fiscal year 2014. This grant is for the purpose to support the acquisition, development, construction, reconstruction, rehabilitation, improvement, architectural planning, and installation of park and recreation unit construction projects, including the acquisitions of facilities, open space, natural areas, demolition, and the preparation of indoor and outdoor recreation purposes. This is a grant by the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, IDNR. There is a 25% match required. 10% is for disadvantaged communities instead of 25%. The IDNR has a allocated funding of $25 million. The maximum award that you can get is $2.5 million for this project. And again, this is a park and recreation facilities grant. So you can actually apply for this grant for, the village does own a couple of parks. So if you want to look into doing any type of developments for those parks, just be sure to get in contact with me so we can get this prepared and out the door. The grant is due March 10th, 2014, but keep in mind you must show proof that you own the property, so there must be a deed that accompanies the application, also estimates, scope of works, so forth and so on. So just give me a call or email me if the board would be inclined for us to submit on that. Also, there is an application fee. Minimum fee is $100. The maximum fee is $300. And that's about it concerning the park grant. The next thing I have is MWRD, that's the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, has Phase 2 projects. At the end of last year, MWRD requested a list of existing flooding concerns, applicable current studies and potential projects and their status. A list of these projects will be compiled, evaluated in MWRD's Phase 2 of their stormwater management program. If you look into your packet, there was a letter drafted and submitted to MWRD, to Catherine O'Connor. She's the Director of Engineering at MWRD. What we wanted to bring to MWRD's attention is the area off of 138th in Indiana, just east, where we had a lot of extensive stormwater runoff and overflow of stormwater in that subdivision over there. So we drafted a letter, submitted photos, and requested some help from MWRD and their Phase 2 stormwater management program. So when I did speak with MWRD, they said they were going to try to get out here and take a look at the area and see if there was funding available so that we can address the residents' concerns that live over there in that area. And that concludes my report. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Ron Smith.
Thank you.
Now we go to the committee reports. Police and Fire, Trustee Pearson.
Good evening, residents. Mayor Pro Tem, from Chief John Franklin, Dolton Police Department received and responded to 657 complaints and requests for service during the period of February 18th through March 3rd, 2014. And from Police Chief Hughes, from February 3rd to March 2nd, the fire department responded to 370 calls. The breakdown is as follows. There was 265 EMS calls, 36 fire-related calls, 12 MVA, and 21 CO calls. As of March 2nd, 2014, we are 169 calls ahead of last year at this time. The fire department was granted a $23,900 grant from the Office of the State Fire Marshal. This grant is for new turnout gear and SCBAs. Just a reminder, please clean out your lint traps on your dryers. We had a structure fire last week and the cause was from the dryer. Always practice fire safety. And that's all I have today.
Thank you, Trustee Pearson. Public Works, Trustee Bendel.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Water main breaks 42, snow removal 65 hours of snow removal. We also had installs and locations of 35 and shut-offs of 5. Please be aware that from Chicago, we have a water increase that's took in effect in January 1st. The bills should be coming out, if not already out, for the January, February, and March. Those are listed on a table if anybody wants to take one home. The minimum bill is $106.67. That's a minimum water bill. If you see any water main breaks, please give us a call as soon as possible so we can keep from losing water. If there's a snowfall, please try to remove your cars from the street into the driveways so the plows can get through. We appreciate any support you can give us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Bendel. Dorchester Mellon Fitness Center, Trustee Smith. Scratch that, excuse me, I'm sorry. Housing, Trustee Henry.
Okay. Good evening, residents. Thank you all for attending tonight. Village of Dolton Housing activity counts from February 1st, 2014 to February 28th, 2014. We have 32 as-is sales, 32 sale inspections, 31 escrow release inspections, 13 escrow deposit, 18 escrow refunds, 8 quick claims, 11 judicials, 94 rental license, 62 rental inspections, 20 vacant property permits, 1 sale, and 3 trusts. Tonight I have 4 items to report to you this evening. One is just to give you an overview of our Housing Committee report that we did on February 8th. I had a Housing Committee meeting on February 8th at 10 a.m. It was very informative. We talked about Dolton's abandoned property ordinance, which is failure to properly secure vacant buildings. This ordinance holds the banks liable for their vacant properties. For instance, if a property is vacant and we are called to board up the property, it was only costing them a $50 ticket plus processing fee. The ordinance states that if we are called to board up any window or door, it will cost them $500 per item. The next thing we talked about, enforcement of crime-free housing, which applies to renters. Which means if the police is called to your house 3 times for drug activity, gang activity, or anything relating to crime, you are in violation of crime-free housing, and your landlord can cancel your lease and enforce your eviction under the crime-free housing ordinance. Next thing on the meeting report, new escrow procedures. Escrow is the money you put up to the village as good faith that you are going to do the work. When buying a home here in Dolton, escrows have been too high, so the board all agreed to lower the escrows and encourage people to reinvest in the community. Escrows are as follows: $500 for owner-occupied and $1,000 for investors. Housing fees, which many are familiar with. Inspections, single family in 4 units, cost $35 per unit and $50 for license. Sales inspections cost $200. Deed in lieu costs $150. And just the FYI, failure to comply with annual rental inspection fee is only $50. I would like to increase this fee. If you know someone that is renting and the landlord did not get an inspection, don't hesitate, call housing. You don't want to be living in a house that is under code. I don't want an accident to happen for you to call us, because when you know better, you do better. Also, the following groups presented at the committee meeting. We had the foreclosure defense attorney, which is Kiss and Associate, Philip Kiss. We had 2 mortgage presenters, which is MB Financial Lender, who works out of the South Holland branch. And we had Mr. Mortgage. He currently works outside of his home, and he is a teacher at Thornwood High School. We also had Insurance Pro Agency, Larry Powell, who sells life, health, auto, commercial, and homeowners insurance. And last but not least, we had a real estate agent, Miss Faye Washington from Meeker Realty, who also sells properties here in Dolton, which she lists them. There's a sheet of paper which we copy everyone's information on. There is also a foreclosure defense flyer on the table to my right. If you are interested or know someone who needs assistance, please take one. Any questions in regard to what I just stated, ask the citizen's address or ask after the meeting. I will be available. Otherwise, you can view this housing committee meeting on our YouTube channel. Just go to our website, vodolton.org, and click on your YouTube channel link, which is located on our homepage. Next thing on the agenda. I got a lot of questions in regards to the food truck, so I wrote a little statement for that. I am proud to announce that you can now pick your food truck application up on Thursday at Village Hall. There are only 10 licenses that will be given out. So please come and pick up your application so you can make sure your vehicle is up to code. The person to see is Ms. Phillips, who is located here in Village Hall in the Water Department. Just to state some facts about the requirements. You must have a legal company, which means you must be registered with the state. You must have automobile insurance and liability insurance and name Village of Dolton as insured party. You must have a food and sanitation license, and whoever holds this license must be present at all times on the food truck. All vehicles will be inspected by the health department and the fire department. I choose to speak of these 4 items due to people inquiring. They must know you have to have those items in order to operate in our town. Once you pick up your application, it is very detailed in what is needed in applying. Fire department has a 2-page list, and so do health department. Key piece of information. License or vehicle sticker for the food truck will not be given out until your truck has complied with health inspection, fire inspection, vehicle insurance, food sanitation license. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at 708-297-6859, and I will guide you to the right people. Next on the agenda, jobs that's available. All these is hiring on 87th Street in Chicago. They're hiring for managers, which is starting at $17 an hour. Sonics on Torrance is hiring in Calumet City for skaters. And here at the Village of Dolton, we are currently hiring for public works. You can see Ron Jones right here to my right, which is a public superintendent, or the gentleman to my left, which is Stan Irvin, the village administrator, to apply. The last thing on my agenda, and I promise you I'm done. What's new? Under the weather and cannot attend our board meeting? Try to view our board meeting on Channel 4, but wait, you don't have Comcast. Wait no further. You can now view our board meetings online. Just go to vodolton.org, then scroll down under News and Updates, and you can watch us on YouTube. Then click Read On, then click Go to Channel. There you can view our latest board meetings, our CAL meetings, and our committee meetings. If you have any questions, please ask in citizens' address. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Henry. At this time, Trustee Smith.
But wait,
Woo!
I love that part. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. I'm in good spirits. I hope everyone is in good spirits as well. Really have no announcement. I'll make any announcements at our CAL meeting. I will announce that we will be having another senior dinner. Thornton Township will be having a senior dinner, so save the date of March 10th, 5:30 p.m. at the Dorchester. You probably have or you will be receiving your robocalls to let people know about the dinner that's coming up. Again, it's going to be at the Dorchester at 5:30, Monday, March 10th, Monday coming up. And just come out and enjoy. It's free. It always is. Last time it got pretty packed, but again, it's free. And that's Monday, March 10th, 5:30 p.m. at the Dorchester. I hope to see you all there. You do have to be a senior to actually partake of it. You can help, but to sit down and enjoy yourself, you have to be a senior.
Where's the cutoff date, the age?
You make it.
Go for the
I think the
freebie.
seniors now, I think it's 60, if I'm not mistaken.
I just asked Trustee Smith, because I am a member of AARP. Just curious.
I think we all are.
Not me, I'm not there yet. And that's it for my report. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Trustee Smith. At this time, Trustee Brown will be reporting out on the youth. The 134 Jump Program start, Electrician Construction Communication Apprenticeship Program. March the 8th, this coming Saturday from 8 to 4 at the Westside Technical Institute, 2800 South Western Avenue, room 2223F. For more information on the Jump Start program, call Mr. King at 708-389-1340, extension 105, or just go on the website and contact myself, Stan Brown. Email me or give me a phone call, and I will direct you from there. Also, we have the registration for the Electrician Communication Program at the IBW NECA Technical Institute, location 6201 West 115th Street in Alsip, Illinois. This is every Wednesday from 9 to 11. All applicants must report in person and bring the following documents: your driver license and a social security card. Any of this information, you can contact me on the website at any time. This is an ongoing process to get individuals to actually get a career, not a job, learn the electrician trade. End of my report. Next we have Trustee Hunt, Finance Committee.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to piggyback on Trustee Henry. We also are hiring part-time police officers. We're looking to make sure that everyone in Village of Dolton is aware of that. And it should be posted online soon. It's not posted online right now, but we are looking to hire part-time police officers too. And then piggybacking off Trustee Smith, the senior dinner, to just make sure we have a great head count, we would like people to RSVP at Thornton Township. That number is 708-596-6040. You can hit extension 0 to RSVP. Once again, that number is 708-596-6040. About the finances, for the month of January and February, tax revenue is starting to come in again. So we're not going to be as tight, cash tight as we've been before. I guess the biggest part is we want to make sure we don't spend up all the funds as we did last year with 4 or 5 months left in the year. So, but we collected so far $1.7 million in January and February. We actually did on the agenda, we did find a new finance director to replace the previous director. This person will help us cut back some of our consultant fees that we have right now. This person is going to be salaried. So with that, we can work them as much as we work staying urban, probably about 90 hours a week. And we'll just pay one flat fee. Right now, with the change of finance, we're discovering more and more things when we switch different directors. We've discovered we was paying health insurance people for people that didn't work here any longer, that was retired, and just rediscovering a lot of different things to save the village money. And I do not have any solid numbers yet to give you regarding profit and loss to this day, because they are actually still cleaning up some of the mess we had before with the previous finance director. And with that, that's all I have right now.
Trustees and department heads, I would just like to remind you that if you've made an announcement this evening regarding anything that has not been distributed to me, state law and my own requirements to make sure that it is included in the minutes accurately, requires that anything that you have announced or that you've referenced in your announcements must be copied to me as well. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all the trustees for such informative reports. Within hope that the residents did get something out of all the reports that was actually said. We would like to definitely always bring some good pertinent information every time we have a meeting. So thank you, trustees, for such great reports. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our village administrator, Stan Irvin.
Thank you, sir. Just to piggyback on what Trustee Smith and Trustee Hunt brought up, yes, I'm a member of ARP many, many years ago and still, but is there a charge for this, or is it free?
$3.99.
This will be the first freebie I got since I've been working here.
They give you a lot of
I
food,
I
and they
didn't
give
know
you
if
food to
everybody
take
else
home.
knew that. I did not know that.
We got to be adult resident.
By the 91 hours, I'm here all the time anyway. Okay. Mine will be very brief and short. I was informed very late in the day today that Mayor Rogers is not going to be here, as we all see. The reason he is not here is he is attending a meeting that is being hosted by Representative Robert Rita, I believe it is, who is the chairperson spearheading the Southside Casino Consortium. He felt it was important for 2 reasons: to make sure if and when the casino does come to the south side that we would get our revenue share, and number 2, the potential for lobbying to get the casino to be built here. I apologize for not getting it out sooner. I literally got it like after 5 o'clock today that he wouldn't be here. The only other thing that I have is, that's it.
Corporate bills?
Well, that hasn't been called for yet. This is just the administrator's report. So if you want me to go on to the corporate bills, we can do that.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. As Trustee Hunt did say, the money is coming in, and I don't like to say that. It's not barrels of money coming in, but we can actually breathe a little bit easier tonight. Before you tonight, we'll start with right at the top, the corporate payments registered number 997 in the amount of $986,782.97, plus a gross payroll for the date of 2/21/14 in the amount of $314,464.59, which totals $1,586,782.97. $301,247,056. I would ask for a motion to approve that as presented.
I make a motion that we pay the corporate bills in the amount of $1,301,247.56.
Second.
I wanted to make a motion, I think we had to amend something.
If you're ready, or if I could jump in,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
would like to pull from a warrant on page number 4. It's about the middle of the page. It starts off with 01, flowers and gifts by Michelle. I put that on the agenda, or on the warrant by error. I was told to take that off of the last one, and it slipped by me, and I apologize. So I'm asking to have that pulled once again, as I was instructed the last time. And I promise you it won't be back on.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that.
And then also, did we add, Ken Wright name to the payroll?
Ken Wright's bill did get in time. I presented it to the mayor after Mr. Brown gave it to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, just Mayor Pro Tem Brown, I'm sorry. I believe he got it on Wednesday. I gave it to the mayor on Thursday. I didn't get it back from the mayor until Friday. We had already done the warrant. I've already told the people upstairs that they will be doing a hand-type check tomorrow. And it'll be on the next warrant to be voted on, but,
Right, that's a whole month away though, correct?
no, the hand-type check will be issued tomorrow.
Okay, so
It was
I don't
just
have
that-
to add that in here, that's what
No,
you're stating?
I've already authorized to go ahead and make sure the check, it was just a matter of timing. By the time Mr. Brown, Mayor Pro Tem Brown signed off, and then the mayor signed off, we didn't get it till we ran the whole warrant.
Okay,
So yes, he will have a check tomorrow morning that he can pick up.
okay, I just didn't want him to wait a whole nother month for it to get paid.
Nope.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills as amended by the administrator.
Second.
Motion to approve the bill by trustee Hunt, second by trustee Bendel.
Wait, what are we, for 543?
No, he is correct.
Yeah, 543, yes.
It's a motion to approve the corporate bills in the amount of $1,301,247.46 minus the amount of $543 for payment to Flowers by Michelle. And also, actually, that's it.
Any further discussion? Good, trustee Peter?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Are we going to, I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem, are we going to discuss again the fund, the benevolent funding, so we don't have to keep going over this every time the warrant comes up, the bill register comes up?
Well, that'd be something we have to get together on. I'm more than certain on as trustees that definitely love to get into the benevolent fund. And let's put some dollars together, so whenever the village want to send out a wreath or whatever the funeral, that can come out of our pockets and not out of our general fund. You know, you guys all agree with that.
And I got a question, who signs off on it? Why is it always on our warrant list? Who signs, what trustee signs off on, Flowers?
I would have to actually get some sign-up sheet. I don't have that handy. I can get that for you. I don't have that. I know that it was told to pull it off last 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It just automatically pops up because it's a bill that's outstanding, so it's on the warrant. It was oversight on my side for not pulling it off.
Okay.
And with that said, Mr. Irvin, I guess I'm gonna need your assistance on this. I can take the lead and talk with these trustees or whoever wanna do that to see how much we'd like to give up once a month or every other 2 weeks. And we set up a fund within the village where we can put those monies in.
Not being the financial wizard, I would prefer personally not commingling what I'll call private money with corporate money, meaning the village's money. I'd rather you're talking about taking your own personal money?
Yes.
And I would just say that when you decide to send a wreath to my wife for me being a nice guy and being here 91 hours a week, that you just make your collection, buy the wreath, and pay the bill.
Can you touch on that?
Yeah, if there's no village action required, you're talking about your personal business, so it's not public business, so whatever you want to do as a group of citizens, that's fine. Don't
You
even-
just start
don't
your
even
own
have to get the
little
village involved.
group.
We just have to know when these things happen. That's all.
Now, on the other hand, if you want to have a fund of money available for the village to give on a condolence basis, I think that's something you should just plug into your annual budget, whatever you want to estimate. But as far as dealing with your own funds, that's completely private business, don't even have to get the village. Don't have to talk about it at a board meeting.
And what we're speaking on residents, there have been some deaths in the village, and flowers has been going out, and we really don't want to stop that. We want to just make sure we got the funds, the right funds, to be able to be a good contributor to that. So that's something we take care of. Thank you. Is that it, Ms. Irvin?
And just need a roll call on that one, and then we move on to the next portion of the warrant.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Then also before you, Board, is the Dorchester Center Register Number 536 in the amount of $23,889.59 with a gross payroll dated 2/21/14 in the amount of $45,372.76 and a gross payroll for the date of 2/21/14 for the Melanie Fitness Center in the amount of $8,017.89, which would be a total of $77,280.24.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay Dorchester and Melanie Fitness, gross payments in the amount of $77,280.24.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Smith, second by Trustee Henry.
Wait, question?
Any questions?
Yes, sir. What happened to the register for the meeting?
I didn't have those.
Okay. Did they have them billable?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I added like the night court bill, light bill, things of that nature. But just like with Dorchester, you see our gross payment is more than some things that we need to go with.
Okay.
Trustee Smith, so it would be the Dorchester meeting.
No. They don't pay anything, we pay it.
I'm saying it's a portion of that.
I paid, but I have to pay night court, night court, I had to pay like the gas, the light, those kind of bills, the insurance. Everything else, that's the.
Well, as long as you're on top of it, so that's fine. More questions?
Where is that added though? It's 0 in our registers.
Did you add those? I'm sorry, I think those are the only two I did sign off on.
What has been presented by our accounts payable clerk, they have not been added. I don't know,
Okay.
you met with her one-on-one, so I don't know what transpired. No, there is nothing in the warrant at this point regarding those.
Because it's too many questions, too much going on as far as Melanie. Well, as far as the Dorchester too, but Melanie's really up in the air. There are things there, and I ask questions and can't get answers to. So, like it's answers.
And they'll just roll over to the next board meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, ma'am.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Motion carried 6. jump past the mayor's report, but I would like to mention on this note here, the Tuskegee Airmen calling all kids, take your first ride absolutely free on the airplane. Join us at the beautiful Gary, Chicago Airport for the time of your life. Call reservation, call the Tuskegee Airmen Young Eagle Hotline, 773-602-2880. Information to be over there on the table if anyone want to be a part of that. You can join the more than 10,000 Young Eagles that we have already flown from the Tuskegee Airmen. Thank you. Old business. Mr. Irvin.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Number one on the, well, I'll start off by saying that I've been requested by Trustee Henyard to pull order number 2, which was an ordinance number 14-002, an ordinance providing for building permit holiday fee. That will be pulled from tonight's agenda by Trustee Henyard's request. Now on to number 1, ordinance number 14-001, an ordinance amending Title 6, Chapter 6, Section 6-6-8 of the Village Code, referring to and pertaining solely to overweight truck fines. What this does is it allows us to, number 1, compete with Illinois Department of Transportation. Number 2, it allows us to utilize 2 unutilized pieces of equipment that are known as truck scales, portable truck scales that the village currently owns. There is going to be a detail created by the police department in conjunction with the chief and the deputy chief to get these scales out on the road as quickly as possible after the proper training takes place. You were provided with an original ordinance, which I then supplied you with a more current updated ordinance, which, as you can see, is significantly different in the prices that we will charge. For an example, if a truck is anywhere between 4,500 and 5,000 pounds overweight, it is an automatic, one ticket, $950. That doesn't mean that's the only ticket that's going to be written. Mr. Pearson can testify, being in the trucking industry, sort of, that gives the right to the officers then to make sure all vehicle registrations, all licensing, all air horns, all the other little things can be added on. But a truck stop ticket, a good one, can be in excess of $10,000. This is not just to generate revenue, it's to generate revenue to help preserve our roads. We don't want to have these heavy, overweight trucks tearing up our asphalt, then we have to go back and pay for the asphalt and pay to have it replaced. I'm waiting to get numbers from Chicago Heights, who has had this in place for some time. They haven't communicated yet as to what their general fund revenue increased. I can tell you that the town that I worked for previously, the village of Westchester, who didn't live or have its businesses and buildings right alongside the railroad tracks, where we get a huge amount of truck traffic, but they were next to I-290 in Manheim. Last year I worked there, they had one set of weight truck scales and they brought in over $250,000, doing it 3 days a week. The money is there. We need to do this to help preserve the roads. The money generated, it's up to you where it's spent. You're the legislative body that dictates where it goes in the budget, but a good significant portion should go to road repair, I believe. I would ask for your concurrence in supporting the adoption of this ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 14-001.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Hunt, second by Trustee Smith. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henyard?
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes.
Thank you for your support. As I said, item number 2 has been pulled. We'll go right into item 3, which is resolution number 14R-0003, a resolution supporting a proposed Class 8 status for a certain property within the Village of Dolton at 765 East 142nd Street. It is a car wash currently. This was discussed at length at our last Committee of the Whole meeting. Staff's recommendation is the approval of this Class 8 supporting status.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 14R-0003.
Second.
It's been motioned by trustee Hunt, second by trustee Pearson. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes.
Next is item number 4, resolution number 14R-0004, a resolution supporting a proposed Class 8 status for a certain property within the Village of Dolton, 1006 East Sibley Boulevard. It is a Clark gas station. Just as a personal reference, if you remember, this is the one where they are going to be adding a Checkers franchise also to the facility.
I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 14R-0004.
Second.
There's a motion by trustee Henry, second by trustee Bendel.
It was kind of a tie.
That's all right. Condemn.
Ladies first.
Ladies always go first.
Thank you. Any discussion? No discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes.
The next item on the agenda is a motion to authorize the village administrator to have the authority to settle workman's compensation and liability claims in an amount not to exceed $10,000, presented by myself. The reason this is being brought forward is there are a number of workman's comp cases and liability cases out there that many of them can be resolved, but we need to have someone that would have the authority on a day-to-day basis to do that. To refresh everyone's memory from the conversation at the Committee of the Whole, I believe the board was in favor of giving that authorization to me for the workman's compensation, but not for the liability. So it's up for discussion and a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the village administrator to settle workman's compensation only up to $10,000.
Second.
Been a motion by trustee Hunt, second by trustee Henry. Any discussion? No discussion? Call roll, please.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes.
And that would be the end of the old business. That would bring us up to new business. And the first item on the agenda is advice and consent to appoint part-time police officers. I'm going to turn it over to Chief Franklin.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. That's fine.
I'd like to make a motion to move this to executive session.
Second.
There's been a motion by trustee Hunt, second by trustee Henry to move this here to executive session.
I do have a question. Why are we moving into executive session?
Thank you so much.
For some more information, for some minor information.
Okay.
Of course.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
No.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
5 ayes.
5 ayes, 1 no. Motion carried.
We're going into executive now?
Yes.
Not
now.
Oh, I just want to make sure. Next item on the agenda would be the advice and consent to appoint part-time administrative clerk. I brought that forward because there was a vacancy in the clerk's department. You have a synopsis sheet before you. I believe I forwarded on 2 items to you. The Ms. Watkins' resume that she submitted and current wages for the part-time and full-time clerks in that department. Staff recommends the hiring of Ms. Watkins. She has been a volunteer since June, to put her on as a part-time employee.
I would like to make a motion to hire Lorraine Watkins at a salary starting, a rate starting at $10 an hour.
Second.
Been a motion by trustee Henry, second by trustee Hunt. Any questions?
Trustee Bendel?
No.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
5 ayes.
5 ayes, 1 carried. Motion passed.
Next item on the agenda would be number 3, advice and consent to appoint a finance director. The recommended person is a Miss Miller. I believe most of you actually met her, and I have provided a resume. This is a search that's been going on for a little over a month. We received over 30 applications from all over, including Dolton. This is the person that I feel that can bring us forward and make a difference in the finance department. And I might mention this would be a savings to the budget. Her agreed upon salary would be $55,000.
I would like to make a motion to approve Ms. Miller, I don't know her first name, it's not on here, but Ms. Miller, Tangenique Miller, at a rate of $55,000 a year with a 90-day trial period.
Second.
Ms. Irvin.
I'm sorry.
With health benefits, does she need help?
Yes. She would also
Can you
be
amend
part
that?
of IMRF also.
Can you amend that, Mary Kay, with health benefits?
Well,
I think we're good. The motion would be
Okay.
to hire Ms. Miller at a salary of $55,000 per year with benefits for a 90-day trial period. Yes.
Thank you.
I was thinking my.
Yeah.
That's after, the insurance is after 30 days, right?
Correct.
Question? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes.
thank you. The last item on, excuse me, not the last item, number 4 is a motion to authorize purchase of a rotating assembly for pump number 2. I will turn that over to the engineer, Mr. Smith. I might also mention that Mr. Stacy is not here because of a personal emergency in his family. So, Mr. Smith?
Thank you again. The item that's before you is to authorize the purchase of a rotating assembly for pump number 2 in the pump house. What's happening is, because of the age of the pump, the interior mechanisms have worn. They need to be replaced. They're going to be replaced with a new alpha nickel bronze impeller. Over a period of time, these items actually break down because of the calcium and chlorine and it's just normal wear and tear. And for us to continue to use this equipment, you know, these repairs need to be made. And it's very critical in the pump house. You know, this has to do with the water system. So, and this was one of the items that was, I think this is the item that was making a lot of noise. And yeah, this is the one that's kind of like rattling. It's kind of like if you don't have a muffler, how it sounds. So it's pretty bad and at a critical point where it needs to get fixed.
My question is, did we talk about this in the PAL meeting?
Yes, we did.
So we approved for replacement parts or to fix the whole thing?
Replacement parts. Just replace the interior, the inside assembly.
So is it that the same thing you're asking, or you asking us just to buy new equipment?
We're just we're just replacing the
Still
parts.
replacement?
Yes.
So what's the cost for replacement versus purchase? Because it seemed kind of steep. How much more is it just to buy a new pump? If this is $12,927 for replacement parts, how much is it for a new item or the part that you need?
Trustee Van Dam
Sure.
was down
It
there
is a
saying
new pump. It is
Is it a new pump that we're getting for the replacement?
As my understanding, it was a replacement parts.
It's a,
12,000 for
it's a,
replacement parts.
it's a pump, it's an assembly pump that is needing to be replaced because trying to replace the insides of it and trying to put it back together, it might not work correctly. So they're recommending, from what my understanding is, they're recommending from Matt and Mike Lake to purchase a $12,927 part, which is a nickel-plated impeller, if you're reading your paperwork here. Because the other one, that's $11,000, it eats up by chlorine faster than this one would. So this one would last a lot longer than the other one.
Okay, so it's a new part.
It's a new part.
And I
Okay, so
think
that
this
means
one
more
comes with a
cheap.
warranty too.
Correct.
Yeah, it comes with a
That's
warranty,
what I'm
which
saying.
the other one, if they've replaced the insides, will not be
Didn't come with
warranted
warranty.
for that one.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the purchase of propane assembly for pump number 2.
Second.
Can we add it to cost of $12,927 as recommended by both Mike Lake and Nat Stacy? So we got two on here. I just want to make sure we got everything
To say,
done
yeah,
correctly.
per the staff recommendation.
Yes, please. Thank you.
More questions?
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
That would now bring us to the last item on the agenda for new business, and it would be resolutions to censure the mayor.
I would like to make a motion to table resolutions to censor mayor.
Second.
First, motion by trustee Henry, second by trustee Hunt. Question? No discussion?
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
No.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Aye, ayes.
5 ayes, 1 carried. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished our agenda. Citizens address. You can line up to my left here. 3 minutes, please.
Good evening. I am Serena Wash, citizen of Dolton.
Serena Watt.
Serena Wash. I'm on a citizen dog, and I've been a citizen of doggy since 1992. I voted for everybody on this trustee board as well as the mayor to the town to campaign. Simply because I trusted that you would guys do the job. The other day, I actually have 3 dogs. I have a terrier, 14-pound terrier. I have a lab pit bull mix, and I have a chihuahua. The terrier got out the other day. Previously, over the years, the fine has been $75. The other day he got out. I was taking the other dog to the vet. I left the door, getting the other dog out. The dog got out. Well, I found out that day, I would always let the police officers know. I'd go to the department and say, you know, my dog is out. If you see the dog, whatever. I would contact Dolton Hospital, whatever. And even to help other citizens in the community, if I saw a dog, I would be like, you know, do what I could to help the situation. Have returned dogs, placed about $5 last year. However, this one dog got out. I found out from one of the officers that the fine was $500. If I'm wrong, correct me. That's what I was told by one of the officers. I think that fine is excessive. I think it creates a hardship. That day I did not have $500 to retrieve my dog. I paid for 10 years. I just don't think it's fair. I think it's excessive. I think it's a misuse of power. I would like and ask and request that you reconsider that, reduce it. I checked with other communities and other South suburban communities, and the fines are still at $75. It's also not in keeping with the attitudes of the governor of this state, who signed a bill recently that said that if a dog was lost or returned to a shelter, that shelters would do everything possible to make sure that those dogs return to the owners, because our pets I consider part of the family. I'm a single woman. It's necessary for me to have a dog. I've been in dog. My home has been broken in twice. I would like to ask that these fines be reduced to some reasonable rates. I just think it's excessive and a misuse of power. I trust that you guys can make wise decisions regarding citizens with dogs, and I just don't think this is one of the wisest ones you make.
Thank you, Ms. Washington. With that being said, we will take that into consideration and revisit the fine. And clerk, can you get a number on us so we can stay in contact with Ms. Washington? Thank you, Ms. Washington.
Good evening. My name is Georgia Williams, and I am a Dolton resident. And I would ask in behalf of the Melanie Fitness member, if someone could come by and check the showers at the Melanie Fitness. The water is cold, and it's too cold out there for us to be taking cold showers. So if someone would be so kind to come by and check the showers at Melanie Fitness, because their water is too cold. It's coming out cold, not warm or cold. You get warm, then it gets you cold. So just be so kind to someone, please check the Melanie Fitness shower. Thank you.
We got someone who out here tomorrow. Thank you.
Sereno. Living in the village since 1986. And I got a bill, a water bill, it's $800. I see on the slippery thing, for 4 units is $466. I have 4 units, it's saying $800 for each one. My brother got a bill for $2,000. So something is going wrong. I mean, mistake is made somewhere. So that's my concern.
Hey, Ms. Livingston, could you give your information of Mr. Urban so we can have someone to look at that? It does sound like a pretty enormous water bill. Thank you, Ms. Livingston.
evening. My name is Barbara Parker, and I'm a resident of Dolton. And I have a couple of questions. One, is there a certain time or a number of times to have a financial report for the Village of Dolton? Is it quarterly, yearly, 6 months, or what? So we will know what the status is as far as the debt that we're in, or if it's been paid, or whatever. And is it posted, or how do we get a copy?
Yes, sir, you can take that up.
Good evening, ma'am. The village is required by state law to have an annual audit. Now, the village is a couple of years behind on their annual audit. They're working on that now, and I think have you been here the whole meeting? So we've got a new finance director on, and the finance director will be working with the outside auditors, an outside, CPA firm that does the audit. Once that audit is done and approved by the board, it goes downstate to the comptroller. It'll go on the village's webpage, so it'll be 100% available for public information.
So we only get, so you only do an audit. I mean, it's not like a report, an ongoing report or whatever that where the residents will know the status.
Two things. What I just mentioned is what's required by state law. But I believe where this board is headed with the new finance director, the administrator, is to have a monthly report internally that's available to the residents and to the board itself. When this group came in May, it was blindsided by the village's financial plight. So I think everybody at this day is in agreement that should not happen again.
Do you know whether or not you're going to have to request that information, or is it going to be posted where you can view it, or what?
It'll be made available as part of the regular board meeting. Okay. And then I believe after that it's posted on the web. As part of the agenda in minutes. I think that's the goal. We just replaced the finance director this meeting, and we've got an outside firm coming in to try to straighten the ship. So that's the goal.
And the mayor did say, I spoke with him earlier in the week, and he told me he was working on a state of the village report, but he did not give me a date as to when he would be given that report. But he said he's working on a state of the village report to give to the residents to inform them of the state of the village.
The second thing is when we borrow money or whatever, how do we pay this back, or who pays the taxes on these loans?
Well, the simple answer is that whenever a public body borrows, the public body pays back. And the only way a public body pays back is by taxes. So it always falls back on the residents and property. Not simply the residents, but the owners of commercial property as well, because by and large, loans are repaid through the property tax or through other revenues like sales tax.
So every time that we borrow money, whatever, the residents will be taxed.
It depends on the type of borrowing, ma'am. So if there's a borrowing, like was done at a prior meeting, to pay back the overdue debt to the garbage company, for example, that'll be paid through the property tax. Now, it's been structured so that the homeowner should not see any net increase to their property taxes from that. In terms of other loans, it depends on the deal. Certain loans can be paid back only through sales tax, for example. Certain loans are paid back through TIF revenues. I can't tell you that a loan that a municipality takes out is paid back any way other than tax funds, because that's the way it is.
Well, the only, I guess the concern that I have is that if we continue to borrow, and it seems as though that our debt on certain things, whether in particular the Homewood situation, doesn't seem to be decreasing from the time that we started, well, let's say start in May, when we came into, it seems like it's increasing, but we, as the residents, are paying bills or paying them quarterly, monthly, or whatever, whenever we are, and it doesn't seem to be decreasing the debt. And that's the reason, one of the reasons for the question, is that if we're continuously paying the bills, paying our taxes or our bills or whatever, and the debt is not decreasing, we have to go out and borrow or whatever, or the debt is increasing or doubling or whatever. How are we going to ever get out of this? Are there any plans in place to do that?
Yeah, we are working on a, hi, good evening. You got some great questions today. I just want to say we are working on a budget. We are not doing, the only borrowing that the board has approved so far while we've been in office is the new issuing to help pay the garbage disposal. I don't want you to think we keep borrowing. There's only been one bond issue since the board's been here, and that was to help with a backlog of garbage waste disposal bill that's been accumulating for probably about over 2 years of not paying time, paying on time. So that was the only bond issue we issued so far. But I don't want you to think we keep borrowing our money. And right now we're working on a budget. What we was given was not a good. The village wasn't in good financial shape. Only way we was able to be able to cut the budget was to lay a lot of people off. So right now we're working on figuring out things how to make the budget better, so we won't have to be back in that situation.
Well, are we charged interest, I should say, on this debt that we owe to Homewood?
They was not charging interest on the Homewood debt.
Okay. Because it seems as though that, I think when we started, we were at...
one payment of interest.
Wait, on the bill, we just want to buy.
The one payment of interest.
There's interest on the bond deal that we have to do. But not, they wasn't charged, there's interest on the bond deal.
One thing we have to start doing, and I hope that a lot of people will be available or will make themselves available, is our budget hearings. So we have to start going over this all over again. Unfortunately, we're going to do some cuts that's going to really hurt, but we have to do this. We have to start going over our budget. It's time to do that because what is the deadline to have it?
May 1.
May 1. So we're about to start going through line by line like it's supposed to be done with each department. And that's still, it's still going to be like a drop in the bucket.
Is the public going to be part of this?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this going to be, how is that going to be? Are you going to post the meeting dates?
Yes, ma'am. Just like this meeting. Just like when I first came on this board, they posted it and they had budget hearings early in the morning when people were at work.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that that's not the thing we're going to do again.
I hope so too.
So not only will it be posted, you'll know well in advance.
Okay.
And the biggest part of our budget is salaries. And that's just the truth. It really is. So we're working on negotiating on union contracts, and it's the biggest part of the budget. We've been cutting everything else, there's nothing else in there. So we renegotiating union contracts and salaries. That's all we have left.
Because a lot of this is not finger pointing situation with partner, but it's just something that we inherit. And we're going up against this budget expeditiously as we possibly can, because we have to get very aggressive with this. And just as the attorney said, we have to get this in by May 1st. And walking in the door, we had to do some drastic budgetary cuts. And that was, we actually paid a company, the John Caspari's company, to tell us we need to cut administration, and that's what we did. We'd rather take that route than cut police and fire and public work. So we're just trying to do what we need to do to get our feet on the ground. And I feel very confident that this year we have a good opportunity to address the budget in a clean cut, efficient, effective way that we actually come to the. Okay, and every time it's possible. Oh, go ahead on.
There was a lot of things done by this board immediately to bring things under control. I mean, the mayor really needs to give a state of the village address so that people understand how bad things were and the steps that was taken by this board to save millions of dollars. And we did take money from a tip that we borrowed from ourselves. I think that's the way that works. But we took money from a tip to actually save the village when we first got into office because things were so bad. But we learned things every day about this village. I mean, we came in May and we still learn things every day that will boggle the mind. And we don't know, we have to figure out how to deal with these things. But we are dealing with them. We have put some controls into place. And we do need to solve contract. We have 3 contracts that we're trying to work on right now. And as Mr. Hunt said, the payroll salaries is right under $9 million a year. And that's the biggest part of our budget. And we are working to get that under control as well as everything else.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Parker. That concludes the meeting. We're looking to go in executive session, and anyone you're welcome to stay. Once we go back here, we're going to speak on the hiring of 2 part-time police officers this time.
In
one litigation matter.
Can we make a motion for that right now?
So litigation matter?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to give Attorney John Murphy the authorization to settle the litigation matter for the amount that was told for me by Jim. Can I say that amount?
Yeah, sure, it's up to, not to exceed $30,000.
Not to exceed $30,000 to settle the litigation matter.
I think we need to go in closed session for this.
It's up to the board. If you want to talk about that.
We've got pending litigation, we've got performance of employees.
I think
Okay,
We
we'll
need to
address
go
that
into the whole shamil in the back.
I got a second.
Wait, what's happening for what? What do we do?
To go into closed
Go in
session.
executive session.
The motion was to approve, and I'll need a clarification on what the litigation involved, but the motion by Trustee Hunt and second by Trustee Henyard was to authorize the village attorney to settle the not yet specified litigation in an amount not to exceed $30,000.
If I knew about it, I could vote on it. This is the first I'm hearing about it, so I can't vote on it.
There's a motion and second, you'll call the roll.
Any discussion?
I don't know how we can vote on this since I have no information on this.
Yeah, the same, right.
I think we need to go
You
into
heard
closed
about it from
session.
your attorney, but I haven't heard about it.
We need to go in, we need to go into closed session.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Why don't we, let's take it into closed session. I'll explain it, then we'll be done with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that
Thank you.
information was actually sent out through Administrator Service. It was sent out earlier, so just need more information on this. So we'll discuss that in executive session.
So the motion is for a closed session for one item of pending litigation and a item of personnel as discussed. So there may be, the board may.
There might be extra things in there. I think we should go off of the sheet, please.
That's fine. I agree with that.
Everything else, everything
There
everything
could-
that's listed in
whatever
the
it
open
could
meeting.
be.
That's it. That's just those items.
It's just those 2 items.
I have something.
Yeah, but it ain't
And
gonna
we'll
be.
speak on that in
It's about
executive session.
personnel.
The personnel matter.
It's somebody that works for the village.
Okay,
That's
that's
a
an
personnel
executive session. Could I get a motion for us to move into executive session?
Excuse me, we have a motion on the floor by Trustee Hunt, Trustee Henyard. Are you?
I suggest you withdraw that and we'll pick it up.
Oh, you gotta withdraw the motion.
I'll withdraw my motion.
So then we need a motion to go into executive session for
Motion to go
specified
into-
reasons.
I would like to make a motion to go in closed session.
Personnel
Well, the
and personnel litigation.
Exactly what Attorney Murphy stated.
I get a second on that.
Second.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Is that cover what I discussed a minute ago?
Yes.
Call roll, please.
Personnel and litigation.
Thank you.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Hendrick?
Aye.
Soldier Field the other night.